I just wanted to say that if you have a marriage and you are inviting other people into your marriage to give you advice about what to do when you have problems, make sure that these people pray for you. Make sure they are spiritually sound in doctrine, that they can, that they can lead you to the word on what to do in your circumstances. And that they're just not people who just want to just pull you apart and break you apart because really they don't know what's going on. But, you just have to be careful. I have learned that having third-party interferences will make the marriage worse. It will allow you to, do things that, especially if you are a spiritual believer and you believe in God and you believe in the word of God and you believe in, the things that God says about marriage. I'm a firm believer that, if somebody is not leading you through the word and they're not praying for you and they're not coming to pray with you or pray for you and your spouse together, then you got to realize something. These are not really your friends. God is the only third party you need in your marriage, in your relationship. Everybody that goes to church and says that, they are of God, you have to really, really watch them, because we all are walking Bibles. And me, I'm very observant about who's saying that they are of God. People call me an introvert because I stay to myself majority of the time. But it's because I haven't allowed myself to be in the presence of many people. There are people that I do love hanging around, don't mind going to a gathering with, but there are just some people that, I feel the atmosphere. I pay attention to how they talk. I pay attention to the things that they do, and I just pay attention to how, just how they treat me, I've been sitting here just, thinking about that today. I've gone through my own process of things that has transpired for the last 3 months when it comes to my own marriage. And I realized that even though I was doing a lot of praying, God was doing a lot of showing me what was, okay, you want the answers to these things, I'm going to show you. I'm going to reveal these things. That's why I'm so thankful that God is a revealer. But God also let me know that I gave you warning signs well before the marriage. And I also gave you warning signs well before you got to this point of your marriage. However, I have to look at it that God was still blessing the marriage. Because truthfully, I believe that if my spouse was not misinformed about how to handle his marriage, and if my spouse, who used to pray with me on a regular, would have prayed with me when he was feeling some kind of way, or when things was just not feeling right, or when, we had to talk about certain things that needed to be talked about, he wouldn't have been defensive. He would have been able to talk to me about things instead of telling me I don't have to tell you anything. And then maybe he wouldn't have had, third party female relationships, sexual relationships with other people. And the thing that bothers me about that is, how are you doing that? When you vowed to love me. How are you doing that when I'm praying every day and you see that I'm praying and I'm praying for our marriages and everybody else's marriages? And I always felt that you were mine and I was yours. And you felt the same way you told me that you did. Or maybe that wasn't true. But anyway, I just want you out there who are in marriages, thinking about being in relationships, to keep this in mind. Third party interventions when it comes to a marriage, when you're Christians, and I'm only saying when you're Christians, because when you're worldly, anything goes. There's no division in that. But when you're a Christian, the enemy's going to always come in to bring division. So, my best bet is to keep each other covered. Both of you need to cover each other. Both of you need to come together. Both of you need to express your hearts to one another, regardless how hurtful the truth may be. Always tell the truth. No one should be lying to each other. Because in the end, somebody's going to be hurt, or both of you are going to be hurt. And if you feel like you don't really want to be in a marriage and things have changed, let your spouse know that ahead of time. Don't keep carrying on the relationship like, or the marriage like everything is fine, but deep down inside you feel in a whole totally different way. You need to talk about that. And see if you go to marriage counseling. If marriage counseling don't work, then you have to pray and ask God, what to do. God will always give you the answer. So, I want you all to be blessed. And, I pray that someone gets something out of this, short message that I'm talking about. Because I've gone through it, and I'm right now at the end of it where, I've settled. Lord, it's into your hands. I commence this into your hands. There's nothing I can do about it. So, you all be blessed.